everybody, it's Christine Bertram. I'm coming to you live from the Hive here in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. It's Thursday. That means it's time for us to put our stampin' pants on, right? Oh man, we got some cool cards for you guys tonight. I am located in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, and we have a lighthouse in Fond du Lac. So when I look at the lighthouse card that we're going to be making in a little bit, I think of Fond du Lac. So there's a cafe downtown that sells my cards, and it makes me feel like I should make a bunch of these cards and get them down there so that they could be for sale there. So I see, there we are. We're live in the Hive. I caught it. Let's see who's all with us so far. Oh man, it's Thursday night. What is today? It's August 11th. My mom said today, wow, where's August going? It is definitely flying by, by the seat of our pants, right? Hi, Linda Hall. We had a very busy day here in the Hive. I had helpers here. It was amazing. Hi, Betty Pyle. Hi, Stacy Burns. I brought in reinforcements. I did. Hi, Sandy Wicklander and Doris Munson. So usually my mom puts on a back brace. I hate to say this, Patty. Hi, Pam and Patricia. So her back gets sore from standing and helping me all day. Hi, Ann Bellinger. And so she starts to put it on halfway through. And I'm very proud to say that I called in the cavalry, the reinforcements. I pulled all stops. I got some helpers in today. So Diane was here, and Anna was here, and Tammy was here. Hi, Linda. Hi, Randy. And my mom left, and she wasn't even wearing the back brace. Hi, Sherry Martin. Hi, Dar McCarthy. And so I'm very happy that I didn't overwork my mom today. Tyler always teases me. He's like, oh, are you slave driving your mom? Like, it's probably not politically correct to say that, but like I cracked the whip on my mom, and I don't really, you guys. Hi, Cindy Runtree. Hi, Betty File. I don't really. My mom doesn't even have to be voluntold. I ask her, and she obliges and helps me, and she looks at it as spending time with me. So, but I started with Tammy at like 8 o'clock this morning, and she helped for a couple hours until she had to go to work. And then Mom got here, and she helped me until the end of the day, but then Anna showed up a little while later, and Anna helped for a few hours, and then Anna left, and by that time Diane was here, and Diane helped, and so we had like a steady helper all day long, which was awesome, because I looked at it that would have been an extra 8 hours that my mom and I would have worked on these card kits, which we love to do. Hi, Hildy. But we looked at it, was like, wow, we finished and wrapped up at like 4. And then we can write out the slips, combine all the piles, and tomorrow is shipping day. Woohoo! So, oh, there's my phone. So let's see here. I got you guys up, no problem whatsoever, on my tablet. Yeah, it's Cindy. It's awesome. I am very blessed to have so many awesome helpers. I'm going to log into my account, and hi Jamie Tafoya, hi Beverly Smith, and it really made it go smooth. Anymore, like I don't know if I could have handled it, because I had my mom saying, what do you want me to do? I had Diane, what would you like? Anna was like, what? So everybody, gets working on stuff, and then I'm still die cutting, or I'm doing something in the interim to make sure that we have all the pieces that we need. And you guys, we double, triple checked everything. So we're pretty good. We feel good going into these classes. Hi, Jean Terwilliger. So it was a fun day. So needless to say, though, if you've emailed me probably since yesterday, you guys, I spent about 8 hours cutting paper and getting things prepped. And that doesn't even include the die cutting and embossing time. So I haven't been on the emails like I should be for the last couple days. So just know that if you're waiting for an answer from me, I will get to it within the next 24 hours is my guess. Hi, Vicki Tillett and Mary Lemke and Becky Rohrer. Woohoo! Okay, so we have the monthly card class. If you guys caught Kelly, she did a technique Thursday, probably about an hour and a half ago. She was sharing some cards with you from the ink, paper, scissors that's coming up. It's the August ink, paper, scissors, but it is September 1st. I'm going to New Orleans to go to Backstage for Stampin' Up's event that they have for leaders. And so I had to assess the situation for scheduling. And so I switched paper pumpkin for August. So Kelly's going to do pumpkin while I'm gone, and then I'm going to do the ink, paper, scissors when I get back. Hi, Hillary. So I think she said that I have maybe 20 sets left, and that's about right. I'm accounting for 48 for this class, and I already have 24 signed up, and so I'm thinking maybe 20 more will sign up. I'm not quite sure, but I'll throw it on the camera and show you guys again the cards that we're doing in case anybody does. I haven't even published it yet, you guys. I got the cards made last Thursday. Hi, Marilyn Edens. And I just haven't had it's from one thing to the next in a good way. And so I do need to publish this yet. So it's on my calendar. Hi, Jeannie Parker. But the picture isn't there. So I will be doing that hopefully also within the next 24 hours. So just know that you can get signed up for that already. The other thing that's coming up next week, you guys, which is next Thursday, is the Abigail Rose class. And I just did stock on it. Thanks, Linda Rios. Hi, Karen Cotton. This class, you guys, hi Jennifer Jones. You guys, it's $36 mailed or $30 for porch pickup. And the reason that it's a little bit more is because you get a goodie bag with it that has embellishments and has a roll of ribbon and has a quarter pack of designer paper. So it's a product-based class. That's why it's a little bit more. The Abigail Rose next week, you guys, I did some inventory. We made 96 sets of these cards. There's 16 left, okay? So there's not many when you think about how many were made. Oh, Karen, you're not too late. You're all good. But if you're on the fence about the Abigail Rose, like, better let me know soon because I think I counted over there and there's 16. And this is the sweet promotional bundle class for the month of August. So you'll have the 4 card kits. It's free with a minimum order. If you buy the bundle, which the bundle is available, you guys, the suite isn't available because this ribbon is out of stock at the moment, but the bundle is available. So if you buy the bundle, I think I have the date is tomorrow. If you buy the bundle through me as your RSVP for class, you get the class for free. Plus you get a half a pack of the designer paper because it's my promotional bundle class. And you'll get all the things in your kits, including the ribbon. I stocked up on the ribbon. So I had enough rolls. I went through, I think, 5 rolls for this class. So I had enough ribbon for the class. And I made all your bows today. I made like about 250 bows today for this card and this card. And then the sale-a-bration Hoorah Rah. So in case you guys are new to me or you didn't see this one, this is Abigail Rose. This is what I'm doing next Thursday, the 18th at 6 p.m. And then the next night, you guys, this is also what we kitted up today. The sale-a-bration Hoorah Rah class. I think I only have 3 left for this one. We made 72, you guys, and I think I have only 3 not spoken for. This is the Fun Folds class too. So all of these, they open up and they're a different type of a fold. Oh, you guys, this was a mission to get all these little pieces into your kits. And some of you will get gold campers and some of you will get silver campers. And then this one too. All of these are fun folds. I promise they all have a crazy opening. Hi, Karen Wetstein. Thanks for sharing, Corinne. They all have a different type of a fold to them. So, and this one was a mystery card layout. So thanks for sharing, Hillary. I appreciate it. So 3 left of sale-a-bration Hoorah Rah. Again, this is one if you guys need to place a Stampin' Up! Order and you need to get some stuff. The class is free with a minimum $45 order, but it's sale-a-bration time, you guys. So you might as well do 50. Hi, Debbie Schultz. If you are going to do 45, you might as well do 50 because it's sale-a-bration. You get your name on the board. This is another one. I have about 15 left of the Let's Just Stamp from Monday of last. What is today? The 11th? Huh? This was just this last week, not last week. It was just like 3 days ago, not last week. Okay. I think that it kind of goes over what's coming up yet for this month. Hi, Chris Duderenke. What we're going to do now, though, are the monthly cards. And I looked at my inventory, and I believe, hi, Sherry Stewart, I believe that I have 8 left of this one, you guys. And so if you were on the fence about it, after you see me making the cards tonight, you might decide, ooh, I want to get these card kits. You get them free with an order, or they are $20 mailed. Includes, hi, Stacey Burns. I know you're live, but you can peek quick. But can you peek quick? Yes, Stacey Burns, I can peek quick. You're funny. So it's so funny that you said that like that because I have a girlfriend who, you sent a text. I have a girlfriend who is trying to reach me too. I don't know, this was way back when I started doing lives. And she's like, well, I knew you were live, so I knew I can't talk to you like really because you're not really checking messages. But she found me through it and oh! Do I really? I do. You're awesome. Oh my God, Stacey, you're awesome. You guys, this is the kind of gal you want to have in your life. Okay, Stacey, you're a rock star. And she told me I had something in my teeth, and you are amazing. Linda Hall said she sent me a text. Check it out. I bet Linda sent me the same. You found you, friend. You have a black peppercorn in your tooth. You guys rock. Linda, you're amazing. I love it. So, when you have friends that can tell you like what is going on, like when you got the underwear that's coming out the back of your pants, like it's never happened to me, but I had one of my gals in class, and I'm not gonna say her name, but like she came from the bathroom and it had the, and you tell somebody, right? Because, and you but do it very discreetly, because it's not like you want to embarrass them in front of people. Hi, Kathy Groves. You don't want to embarrass them in front of people, so you let's like discreetly say it, right? So there you go, and then we laugh about it later. So I literally, Mom left at like 5:25. I went in, you guys. I washed up my face. I threw on some makeup, and then at 5:50, I'm like, eat something really fast, and it was actually, I think like a parsley flake or something like that, because we had ranch chicken something. We made a Hello Fresh last night, so Jeannie Parker, yes, toilet paper stuck to your shoe. I mean, we've all had that kind of stuff. Your tag sticking out, you tell somebody. So with your shirt inside out. So Linda Rios, yes. I've done that too. I've put my shirt on inside out and didn't even think anything of it, went about my day. And then I'm like, oh, my shirt's on backward, inside out. Oh, it's all good, you guys. Thank you. So I was like, do I? You know what? It worked itself free because I could feel it in my upper lip. So it came out eventually. Hi, Penny Powell. Yeah. So you know what? It's all part of life, right? And if you can laugh about it instead of cry about it, that means it's a good thing. And so that's how we choose to laugh instead of cry. I mean, there's always a time for crying, right? But about stuff like that, it's all good. So you're so funny. Thank you. All right. So we were going to do the monthly class. Got to hold me true to things, though. Hi, Joanna Bastine, because I felt really bad. I finished up my live on Monday, you guys, and I realized I never did roll call. Oh, you wore your pajamas top to work. There you go. So, the whole socks matching with stuff like that. Your local postmaster came to work with his shirt inside out. Yeah, you had to tell him, right, Sandy? Exactly. 2 different shoes or a price tag on the outfit. Yep, that happens too. So kids these days, they don't match up their socks, right? So they wear different colors, and I guess apparently it's too much work to match up your socks. And I like, these kids, they don't wear the matching socks. And you know what? All of a sudden I'm like, I had my laundry all in the basket, and I couldn't find 2 pairs of socks that matched. So I grabbed a pink one and I grabbed a white one. Like, they look exactly the same in terms of the shape of the sock, but they were not looking alike, right? They were 2 different colors. I'm like, who cares? Well, you guys, that I started doing that a couple months ago, because who cares, right? I'm home by myself. Nobody really sees what color my socks are because there's those little short ones. Well, so you guys, if you remember, I went to the chiropractor last week. Hi, Betty Ray. Hi, Annette Rollin. Hi, Julie Bierschbach. I went to the chiropractor last week, Monday, because I had just gotten back from that camping trip. And I was like, well, I got to make sure that I don't have a bad back, It's free not to match up your socks. It is, So I got there. You have to take off your shoes. And the first thing he does when he comes in, he looks down at my feet. And he's like, you don't have matching socks on. I'm like, no. I said all the cool kids aren't matching their socks these days, and I wanted to be a cool kid. So I'm like, and I said it's so much easier not having to match up socks. It's like, who cares, right? And he laughed at me, and I'm like, all the kids are doing it these days. Why can't I? So, there's a special day for mismatching. I bet there is now, yeah. So I tell you, I bought all these little shorty socks. Hi, Laura Sullivan. I bought all these little shorty socks, like for these kind of, I'm not going to show them to you. I can't lift my leg up that high. I might hurt my back. I bought it because my little shoes are low, right? So I bought like 10 pair or something, and they had pink, and they had gray, and they had white, and they had black, and they had whatever. So whatever the color was. But they all get worn at different times now. So I never pair them up because they don't like to fold into themselves. You can't pair them up. So yeah, that's my sock story, you guys. So free your soul and don't match your socks. There you go. It's always good. So keep me honest then, you guys. This is what I was getting at. I forgot to do roll call last week, this past week, so Monday, only 3 days ago. And I felt really bad. I almost felt bad enough. Do I do roll call for the people that missed that I didn't do it, or just let it go? But I did after class. I went through and you're so fashion forward, right? Yes, Lisa, I try. Not really. I could care less about, so here's the thing, you guys. My best friend is such a fashionista, and I have become such the opposite. I never really was one, but I have a best friend in my life who is, and so she helps me with that department. Like once a year, twice a year, we'll go shopping and get like a couple new things. And so like it's painful for her though to have to go shopping with me because I don't like anything. Like I just like t-shirts and comfortable clothes and to get all dolled up. Tyler appreciates it, but I don't do it often enough, I guess. So you get me how I am. So I had, for Let's Just Stamp, I got done with the live and I had forgotten to do the door prize drawing. And so Vicky Rodriguez was the winner on Monday for Let's Just Stamp. She has a little card here with a prize waiting to go in her next package when she gets her next class. So we won't do roll call for Let's Just Stamp unless you guys tell me that it would be nice to, then I will do it. Hi, Yvonne from Florida. Oh, there's a website called, hi Mo, by the way. There's a website called Little Mismatch selling non-matching socks. Yeah, yep. So, oh yeah, good times, good times. We love you. I love you guys the way you are too, especially you, Jeannie Parker. All right, so we have here monthly card class, and we have, I think, 26 signed up. 8 to go. If somebody tells me sometime during the live that they would like to get a set of cards today for this class and they're planning to place an order, I'd include you in the drawing later like I usually do. But we'll do roll call so I don't forget. And hi, Penny Powell. Sandy Wicklander, Becky Gandolfo, Millie Kindle, Mary Lemke, Pat Detlefson, Deanne Extell, Sherry Martin, Sue Somerville, Karen Stagg, Angela Knutson, Jeannie Parker, Julie Satterley, Barb Barco, Vera Anderson, Karen Cotton, Darla Zell, Carla Lake, Patty Salter, Christina Bernards, Carmen Melendez, Feline Mays, Shirley Malarkey, Sue Spiegner, Carolyn Ketchmark, and Rachel Horsch. So we've got a great group tonight. What was I going to say? So if you guys notice, you might not even notice this, but I used to only put your first names on your little slips for class. Well, in the last two, and then I would always have to put Post-it notes with your last name on to keep track of who's what, because I have a lot of Kathys and I have a lot of Barbs. I have a lot of Karens. I have a few Lyns. I have some Sues now and Sherrys. And so you guys, I just started to write out your full name on your card packet because it got to be a lot to always go through all the Post-it notes. So you might notice that I've started putting your last names on there because, wow, you guys, we are growing. My community of stampers is amazing and growing. So I think I made up 60 for this card class, and to have maybe 8 left is awesome. And, if I ever have classes that are left at the end of having the class, I move them to the past classes still available at the back end of my schedule. And then if you are placing an order and see something, a blast from the past that you'd like to get those kits, you could always pick those instead. So yay. So a bunch of you are here with me. Hi, Marcia Long. Hi, Deb R. Blaster. Deb, you are one where you said you were sending me a check for a class, but you didn't have the name of the class. And when I emailed you back, I haven't heard back and I haven't gotten a check. So I don't know if I missed something, but maybe reach out to me and let me know if there was a class you were interested in like about a month ago, maybe. Hi, Amy Ponce. So we're going to do, you guys probably want to see some swap cards too. Hi, Louise Power. We only have 3 cards for class tonight. And what am I going to do? You know what? I'm going to wait and I'm going to do, I had my team swap party, you guys. With the Be Happy Stampers on Sunday. And I have about 12 cards. How many were there? 8 and 5. About 12 cards. You know what I'm going to do? I have them here. I'm going to hold on to them. And we're going to save them for Tuesday. And we're going to do a Tip Tuesday. A quick and easy down and dirty Tip Tuesday. And we'll include the swap cards that I got. So that will save us a little time tonight. And I'll save it for Tuesday. Okay. So let's flip down here. I know you guys are ready for some stamping fun. I got 2 cards in the mail recently. This one is from Sharon Peralez. So she did, Tyler saw this and he just had to touch it and feel it and check out what was going on. This is actually shiny. It's so cool. It's kind of like holographic. I have no idea. I could not tell you what Sharon did. This is embossed or it's a sticker. These might be stickers too, but the iridescence in this card is so cool. It's got like a window pane on the top and it's just so super cool. So Sharon's down in Texas. She couldn't make it up in person, so she sent me a card instead. So that is super cool. And then this one comes from, I believe it was Carolyn Ketchmark, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Carolyn. Yay, Carolyn. This came yesterday, and she did this was the sunflower set. There was designer series paper from a couple years ago that came in a little 6x6 pack, and I celebrate sunflowers maybe. It's the sunflower set that carried over. It's in the annual catalog, but there was paper, a stamp or DSP. So I think that, Hildy, you're asking about this, right? So that is a very good question. Sharon's kind of my artsy gal that does not always stamp. Hi, Anna Rebedu. Hi, Angela. She does ad hoc things. And so when I got this, it didn't surprise me that she sent it, and it was super pretty. I honestly, it looks like peacock feathers is what it does to me with that green in here. You know what? I have to ask Sharon what's going on with this. It actually looks like some kind of thread. It looks like some sort of thread was put on something. I don't know. I honestly don't know. And without taking it apart, I couldn't tell you. But you know what? Inquiring minds are gonna ask Sharon how to do this card because you guys want to know. So, but super cool getting that. Okay, so these are the 3 cards that we are going to be doing tonight, and it's very important that you guys pay attention or watch if you especially did this class with me. This ribbon is Kitty Wampus, and I'll tell you all about it when we do it. And I did this class in person on Monday night with my club class because we do the monthly cards for club. Flowers for all season DSP. Thank you, Patricia. What is that last card back there? It was from like 2 years ago. Hi, Pauline. We might as well start with this card because it has the most things that could go wrong, I think. Where this one is pretty, yeah, these are more assembly action. But this one, this is a little bit, it's not necessarily a fun fold, but it has a binding on it. And you got to be careful because the designer series paper is not glued down. It's actually glued to the back of this binding right here. And this set is called Heavenly Hollyhocks. It's in the annual catalog. It's got a stamp set, and it's got all of these awesome dies. So when I was designing for this, I wanted to make sure that I used the dies from the set versus pulling in so many flowers on the outside. I wanted to make this card so that you could definitely recreate this without necessarily having the stamps that I chose. So you really just need a sentiment. And this one is really long in here, sending get well wishes your way, but there's also a many thanks. And I'm going to show you, everybody got like a strip of paper that's about 4 inches long, but you can definitely trim it down and shorten it. And then, talking about this, so in your kit, it looks like there's not a lot of pieces, like not as many as normal. It seems a little odd. So Pretty Prince has 3 patterns to it, you guys. There's this pattern. Let's get the book out. Maybe I can show you in the book. I should have brought a pack down here, but if you go to the DSP section, and that is right here. The Pretty Prince is down here on page 133. And there's 4 different color combinations. So there's coral, Bermuda Bay, shaded spruce, and black. Oh, gorgeous grape. But like gorgeous grape has also like blackberry hints in it, and they've got other like hints of colors, raspberries in it. But there's actually 4 different prints, right? So there's this print, that print, that print, and I feel like, let's see here. Oh, this picture in this catalog is actually wrong. They did this one wrong, actually. This is wrong. This information is actually inaccurate. So I'm going to tell you what's going on here. I'm going to go grab, I just got kicked out of here. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go get you my DSP sampler so you can see really what's going on. Okay, you guys, so let's pull this out. Oh, I just found somebody here. Sorry. Oh, man. All right, I was trying to get back to the video, you guys, and I had a slight hiccup. It would not let me back in. So I like to watch your comments with you. Oh, hang on. Let's try to find this. Cards by Christine. So this is what you got to do to find somebody, right? Okay, let's go in here. Oh, man. And there's Kelly. And there I am. Perfect. Now I'm back on track. All right. So here you go, guys. This is what we got going on. This Pretty Prince in that catalog is not right. They had a typo error, I believe. And what Pretty Prince is, it's like a sister to the Sun Prince. And let's see, Abigail. Oh, here it is. Okay. So there are three different, there's three different patterns. So you have, this is a back-to-back. Hi, Mary Ellen from Montana. This is a back-to-back. This is a back-to-back. So then you get that in all four of the colors. So whatever is printed in there is not accurate. You get one sheet of each one of these. I'm making it 12 sheets. Thanks for sharing, Mary Ellen. And in there it said something about doubles, and it's not. You get 12 double-sided sheets, all different. The 3 different patterns, but 4 different colors. So this is what you guys will get in your kits. Yes, Marsha Long, I do sell these when I have them, and I don't have any left of the annual catalog, but I have one lonely little soldier left here from the Holiday Mini catalog, the Holiday Mini DSP sampler. This is my last one, and it's looking for a good home. So if you're interested in the Holiday catalog one, just message me, and we can make that happen. So what I'm getting at is, you guys, I used all 3 of these pieces here. I didn't just use this one. So your pattern could look like this, or your pattern could look like that. But all in all, it's the same Blackberry Bliss esque look to it. Okay, so I guess that was my point. Yeah, this stuff, whatever they did here, is not right. And so, all right, that's why I have that sampler, so I can show you guys that. So going back to this is a 4 by 5 1/4, right? And so you're gonna have a front and a back to it. Yeah, exactly. You have to put that together. So that's what this is all about. It's these white sheets like this, and then you have all these little packets, are little color swatches, and they have little corresponding DSP swatches, and you glue it together and you put it in your book. I don't sell the books. That's just like a binder thing that I had from school probably 20 years ago. So yeah, but you put it together and glue it. So in your kit then, you guys are going to have these 2 things, the ribbons. I promise you we can make it work so that it looks like this. So the story behind the ribbon is I told my mom 4 inches. So she cut 60 of them at 4 inches. And then I'm like, oh shoot, that's not enough ribbon. So we cut another 2 inches, and we're gonna MacGyver our ribbon so that it works. I'll show you how to do it, okay? So, all right, so there's the ribbon, 2 pieces of ribbon in your kit. All right, Marcia, it's all yours. We will touch base tomorrow probably on it. Here's a little strip. It's just a little scrap from the edge of a piece of when you cut your mats. And then in your kit, you guys are going to have these 2 die cut pieces. This is the more detailed one. This is the more solid one. We have to color them, okay? Thanks, Cindy Bassett. All right, then you have your piece of white, which is 4 by 5 1/4. It's your mat for the inside. You have, this is from the Christmas labels dies. And then you have your, it's 5 1/2 by 5 1/4. And the little binding is scored at 4 1/4, and you guys will already have yours folded so it would fit in your envelope, but I did not burnish it for you. So what you might want to do is take your bone folder and burnish that. So what we have to do is put this together. So it's really hard to actually like line this up. So what happened, would love it if no one else asks. I think Marshall Long took my DSP sampler, Mary Ellen. So if that doesn't go through, then I'll remember that you would like it. But you guys, I do those DSP samplers with every new catalog, and I usually make a set amount, and I usually make about 48 of them. And when they're gone, they're gone. And that holiday one, I've been sitting on that for probably about a week or two, maybe 3 weeks. I can't remember how long since the holiday catalog launched, but it's looking for a good home. And just know that come the springtime for the spring catalog, I'll be starting to market them in December. So you can keep your eyes and ears open around that time if you're interested. So if you got your kit and it's maybe a little crooked, you can refinagle and readjust your score line to make it a little bit better. But it's really hard to line up just an inch or inch and a half into the machine and get it embossed. But Rhonda helped me with that, so thought she did a pretty good job embossing those, and I appreciate that she did that for me. So this one, this is your mat, and it's not really your mat, it actually becomes your card front. But what's cool about this type of a card is when you open it, you get to see the other side. And so you can be strategic if like, whoa, maybe you like that side better, right? You could pick which side. One of them doesn't have a lot of pattern to it, so I would put that to the back. But when it comes time to glue this, what I would do is I would line up my 3 sides here, and then I would put the adhesive or tear and tape here. And, you know, if you use liquid glue, that's fine. Just know it might ooze out on you. So to make sure that, and you don't want adhesive like over in this margin or that margin. So when you put this on, you can put it way to the, you know, outer there. But at this one, I'm going to put it onto the DSP and put it right along the margin. So that when I shut this, it's going to have adhesive all the way to this edge, and then it's going to have adhesive all the way to this edge. And I do want to add just a little bit more right there. I don't want it too far though that it catches the margin, right? So just a little bit more. Now, you could do a little line of liquid glue, but I'll be honest, when I made my sample, I had a little bit ooze out on me, and so I had a little cleanup on aisle 2 going on. So what we're going to do is kind of center this right in our card. So you've got that little margin on the 3 sides equal, and then all you have to do is just shut this, right? And it should capture the designer paper, and now you've just made your card. Yeah, so that's, I mean, that's all that is. So now we've made the card, and there's, with these little dies, you guys are going to have to get your pokey tool and pokey, because that's one thing that I tell Anna she does not need to do. You do not need to poke. She makes sure that they are pokeable out. If for any reason there's a little struggle with getting one out, I know I had this class on Monday night and somebody needed a little help finagling in one area. If you need to, it's okay. Just grab your scissors. Like, let's say it's not coming out really good. What you can do is just take your scissors and like follow the trim or like the line a little bit. Like, I'm just pretending that this one needs a little help, but you just take your scissors, you get in there, and you can help it. And then once it has a little help, usually it works. Like this guy, I cut this and it's just hanging on there. So, yes. So this layout is super cool. I'm done. I'm glad you like it. The layout's cool because usually when you use designer series paper, you cover up one side. Well, with this, you get to see both sides of your designer paper. So don't use it on paper or with paper that you don't like the one side, right? So, all right, we're gonna pokey here. Now, I did use sponge daubers to color all my flower parts. And that's what I told people in class on Monday night. I said, if you want to use your own blends, to bring them along to blend, but we are using, for this, I used a sponge rubber. So I made these specifically white so you guys could color them any color you want, right? So we're gonna share, I try really hard to make sure they will all come out. Yes, Anna, she does. She tries really hard, and she double checks and triple checks things, and she'll look at the back to make sure it's cut. But you know what, Anna? like 1 out of 60, sometimes it does happen where, so if somebody gets that, just know Anna doesn't ever try to have that happen. So we try our best to make all your pieces amazing, that you, when you get them, they're right. So we do. And she does a great job. All right, so when you got all that stuff poked out, we are going to color this, you guys. So, so the general consensus on Monday night is they didn't really like coloring with sponges. They said they were good when they were done. Like, they liked the card, but they didn't like the coloring. So here's the deal with the coloring. So I'm going to grab a sheet of white paper, and you're not going to be able to see this very well, but you will once I start to get colored. I do recommend a Q-tip for like the smaller areas, right? And then, what color is that? That's green. This must be brown. Oh, that's blackberry, and this must be brown for over here. Okay, so these were the colors I used. Now, I used blackberry. If you have rich razzleberry, you could use rich razzleberry. I used shaded spruce because I went to my color coach and I saw shaded spruce and rich razzleberry go nice together. And then centers of flowers are usually daffodil to me. You could use crushed curry too. If you had garden green, I think garden green would look good. And again, I used these sponge daubers. But if you want it not to be so complicated, what I would recommend is you grab your blends, and you could color these with markers versus a sponge dauber. But I love what the sponge dauber does. It just gives it more of a watercolory wash look to it. You just have to be super careful not to contaminate your colors, I guess. So the sponge daubers are great, and I'll use them for the other two colors, but we did discover, you know, using a Q-tip would help with the smaller inner area. That's like I call it the fingers that are coming out of the middle. And we're just gonna put a little bit on here. Now, sometimes they make those little baby sponge daubers too that that are teeny tiny, and that would work better than a Q-tip, I'll be honest with you. But when you don't have one of those little insy-tinsy little sponge daubers that is more for defined areas, a Q-tip works just fine. So all I'm doing is putting color right on here. Can't you put that on dark paper? Oh, Marsha Long. Yeah. Ask and you shall receive. I was just going to be excited because as I do it, there will be color added to it. So let's do that. If you want some color, just add it to your life. All right, so there's a little yellow there. And then we're gonna do this. Now, again, you guys that have these kits from me, you don't have to use a Q-tip. You could just use markers. I chose not to do markers in class because if I had 35 or 40 people all coloring with my blends on stuff like this, the brush tips would get demolished. And I thought, well, you know what? This is a good way to show another use of how you can color with your ink pads, right? Eyeshadow applicator, good call, Penny. Yep. I think all of my eyeshadow applicators currently have eyeshadow on them. So still a Q-tip is working for me. So we're gonna do on this one, just this little bit in the middle here. I'm gonna do the 3 middle areas here, just like that. So made it easy. All right, so that's it. I'm just gonna do the centers for the 3 flowers. All right, we'll come back to the yellow ink. We'll need it on our inside, but for now, that's it for this one. So we have here Blackberry Bliss. If you don't have Blackberry Bliss, I was mentioning rich razzleberry would work as well. I always like to test my daubers before I start to go crazy with color. So this is my blackberry one. And so I'm just gonna dip in here and start to add color to the white areas. I'm gonna try my darndest not to hit the yellow area, but again, it is a bigger area. Like I'm trying to use the edges of my dauber versus going full bore on it. And if I did the yellow first because it's the lightest area, and I wanted to make sure I didn't get color on it. The other thing too, you guys, this is something that you could do too. Like let's say you don't want to hit this little guy right here. So you could just cover that up like that, right? And then you could migrate around here and just carefully add color without getting your greenery full of it. So a mask would work too. So with this one, I wanted to make sure that you guys got this awesome die cut as part of your kit. And then you would be able to color it whatever you want. Any kind of colors that complement to the blackberry would be awesome. So we're gonna do this little guy over here. Now, when you go around, you gotta be careful because you think, oh, that's, you forget that there's another leaf and then there's a flower right next to a leaf. So in this case then, what you can do is go like that and like that. And so now, Penny had a really great idea though. An eye applicator would be awesome too. So we're gonna do a little bit here. I didn't even think about this on Monday night. We so could have used the little Post-it note. So there's a leaf over here. So we're just gonna get this middle area. And so got a set at the dollar store. It had 3 sizes in the package. Perfect. That, yeah, Linda Hunt, the die cut is so pretty. So when I had picked out the Heavenly Hollyhocks as your, I knew that that was going to be what we were doing for the monthly class. I was like, I made sure that we fit this die cut in here, and it was the focal point for you guys. All right, so we're going around the horn here, and we got down here, and there's some more leaferys going on. I make up words, guys. So we have leaferys. All right, so then there's a flower right here, so we're gonna do a little of that. How many of you guys have ever colored with sponge daubers like this? I'm curious. It's not something that I just pull out and start doing, but because of it being this awesome die cut, I wanted to color it. I did see some cards on Pinterest that used it, and it just depends if you want to color. You could have actually done, like this bottom one could have been a different color, and then this one could have been different, but I really wanted to be able to get the greenery, green, and the other flower part purpley. Okay, so far that's what we got. It'll really come together when we overlay them. So we're gonna put that guy over here and go to town on this one. Could you just cut the small flowers with die cut DSP or absolutely, you sure could. You sure could. So I used thick colored with using sponge daubers. Perfect, Cindy. Yeah. You could have definitely done that, Beverly Smith. You could have cut these flowers out of designer paper. Absolutely. With cutting up 60 kits though, I chose to do thick white cardstock instead. I didn't even use thin cardstock. It was thick cardstock, so it had a little bit more structure or stability, but this takes up a chunk of designer series paper right here. So when I am designing for a class, I have to be strategic about what products I use so that I don't have to buy the whole kitchen sink with the kitchen, the new kitchen when I get it. So if that makes any sense. But yeah, you definitely could. You could do anything. So instead of what you're doing, I'm waiting for water to boil for spaghetti. Never turn the bonner. Ha! Penny, you're funny. You're going to be a little hungrier though because you didn't turn the burner on. I guess you'll have that. It must be mesmerizing you with my coloring abilities here. Oh yeah, so we're just going around, you guys. The Post-it notes are awesome though. They really do help if you don't want to get color on certain areas. Definitely. So here we go. We're gonna go here yet. And we're almost around with the purple. And then it's exciting to get the green on here because that's when you really start to see the contrast between, that's a leaf right there. This is a leaf right here. So we just got to be careful when we do that stuff that we don't overdo it. Never done it. What a great idea. Love the look of the colored dye. Oh, cool. Yeah. I mean, any dye that is intricate like this, if you do it in white, like I wanted the multiple color. Oops, I just colored my leaf purple. So, oops. You won't even see once I put green over the top of it. It'll all be okay. So we're almost done. And then we're gonna move on to the green. So we're gonna just touch this guy up right here. And that's a leaf. Okay, so here's this yet. And that. All right, besides coloring my one little area here, purple and it should be green. Oh, I got a flower. Just when you think you're done, you gotta look around and then you find another spot. So now I've got this purple on my purple paper. Hopefully you guys can still see it. And, oh, you're very welcome, Ruth. Oh, you're no problem. Ruth, I'm here to help. So it doesn't bother me at all. But I'm glad you did find it by looking in your inbox and that you found it. That's awesome. I love it when you guys find things that I send to you. All right, so I'm gonna move away from here, right? Because there's a lot of purpley ink here that I don't want getting mixed in with my dauber. And I might just get a new Post-it note here because I don't want to be pulling off the ink from the other Post-it note. So now we can work with our, this is Shaded Spruce, you guys. I thought Shaded Spruce looked awesome with the Blackberry Bliss. And if you don't have it and you've got this with me, this class, you could try Garden Green. You could try any darker green. Pear Pizzazz, maybe. You'll have to check it out because it's a little bit lighter. You could always put a darker green over the top of it. So let's keep going here. And if you can watch what I'm doing, I'm not like scraping back and forth. I'm going up and down. It's really hard to see it, like a chicken pecking at corn is what it feels like I'm doing. So we're just going to keep going around here. I mean, the more you go back and forth like that, it's not going to work as easy. Doing this little dotting thing does. And just remember, you can add color, but it's really hard to take color away. And there is a little bit right there that I want to get. And I have to remember to go back and get my leaf over here. You could use chalk, Marcia. My experience with chalk is it comes off. You have to set chalk, if I understand correctly, like spraying hairspray on it or something, or the Aquanet, whatever is what I've heard. I don't use, if you guys have never seen me use chalk pastels, I think, because I have them and I've never used them. I don't get into the chalk very much, but if you do love coloring with chalk, then chalk pastels would be something you could definitely use. And so you can see now it's hard to see it. So I'm gonna grab my white piece of paper back out and show you on white because now it totally shows off there. So you can see I've just colored it with whatever colors I wanted. And that one's done. Now we just have a little bit of green action to do on this one. Make sure that's purple. See, I tested that before I did it because I knew that I might have switched it around on me. So we just have to go around here now and do a little coloring on here and get around here. So remember what they say, you can always add more color. So if it's too light, just go back and add more. And I'm liking that I'm doing some lighter, some darker, some lighter. And then we're just gonna cover that flower up a little and do this leaf. This will probably be the most tedious thing that you have to do for this class, you guys, is coloring your flower. And there's a little section of purple there that I missed. So we're gonna do that and come back on the green here. A few more things to do, guys. So, oh, Susan loves it. Yay! It's gonna turn out really cool. And just think, we started with white. So this is a really, you guys, honestly, using a sponge dauber with an ink pad is gonna be a lot more cost effective than, like, let's say you're making a bunch of these, than using your blends, because using your blends is just gonna kind of wreck the brushes, like the tips of your brush if you're doing this a lot. So, especially if you're gonna do this for a class, like let's say you're a demonstrator that does classes and you wanna kind of like clone this, I would definitely opt for this. And I told my students that if they were coming and they wanted to bring markers, they sure could, because then they could use their own markers instead of going through this. But this is kind of fun coloring this. Like, let's grab the white sheet out. So this is what I've got now, right? So boom, flower power colored. So we have to do a little gluing though. If you have this die set, hi Susie Stocks. If you have this set, you might opt to run this through your machine with the sticker adhesive sheets and make it into a sticker, right? That might be a good option, but it wasn't gonna do that on 60 of them. So, oh, Jeannie Parker loves coloring with daubers. So you don't have to put glue everywhere on the back of this, guys. You just have to be strategic about where you put it. So I am, thanks Marcia, thanks Cindy, just putting a little bit of liquid glue in certain areas here. I'm gonna find majorly like the middles of my flowers and then some of my stalks up here, but I'm definitely not gonna try to put glue around some of those inner flower areas. Maybe just a little on the outskirts over there, but that might be enough for me. And the thing when you put this down is you can't just set it down and then like move it all around. You really have to find a nice spot to stick it. And then like I'm gonna start here with this leaf right here, capture it, and then try to make sure it gets lined up. So there we go. Now this one's lined up, that's lined up, that's lined up. And then I'm gonna try to pick it up and line these guys up. Now I didn't put glue everywhere and it doesn't have to be exactly lined up. You could have it off just a little bit, but when you put the two together, let's grab the white sheet. When you put the two together is what makes it so awesome. Very, very pretty, very cool. All right. Oh, okay, so that's like the meat and potatoes of this. There is a little bit left to do. We do have some stamping and we have a little bit more sponge daubering. So there is a little painted, it's got to be down here. There it is. This guy right here. This little label, it is also sponged with some blackberry just around the edges. Hi, Marilyn Sparker. Oh, thanks, Hildy. Thanks, Darla. Thanks, Betty. Thanks, Dion. You guys like it? You think it's really pretty? Awesome. Yay. So I'm just going around the edges. I have enough ink in my dauber. I love, hi, Susan Stultz, I think maybe. I like putting color around the edges, and I don't intentionally try to keep it all the same. Did you see how I accidentally went a little bit more? Oh, now I'm just gonna go a little bit more all over the place, right? So you don't make it like there's rhyme or reason. You just like put color around the edges. And I am the type that likes to go from the top down. I know Tammy Sikolik taught me there's a way that you can bring it on this way too. And that's a cool soft way that you blend it circles onto it. I've always for 20 years have probably just did it mid-air like this. And you have to be very careful. If you have a sponge dauber that's old and brittly, I guess you would say, like the sponge is falling apart, it will leave sponge particles all over. And so you don't want to have your project right underneath you when you're working. Hi, Ethel King. All right. If you really wanted to, you could sponge around your white piece here too, as long as you got the sponge dauber going. But isn't it cool? It just added a little bit of color all the way around the perimeter of that label. So these stamps, there's a flower and some leaves, and then we're gonna do many thanks. And there's a little center of the flower. So we're gonna use all that stuff. And they are photopolymer. So I am going to put this underneath. And we don't need this or this at the moment. So let's set those there and grab this. And we need our Blackberry Bliss ink. And we're gonna do the many thanks. And so that's already on a block here. And I'm gonna do that in Blackberry Bliss. Excuse me, I have a frog going on. So I'm gonna leave a little room here and then I'm gonna stamp off to the left a little bit. And I'm going to take my scissors and just trim this edge. So you guys have the ability to use any length of sentiment that you want, right? So I made it so you could use, if you wanted that sentiment that came in the set, but any long skinny sentiment will work. And if you have it a little shorter like I do, all you have to do is trim that off and do whatever you wish with your little scraparoo. So that sentiment is ready. And then on our inside, we have the flower going on. So that's where we get to use the flower stamp. So I did this flower in the corner. And so you're gonna ink up with the blackberry. Hi, Terry Costin. Yeah, the label is so awesome. That comes as part of the, I'll let that marinate for a second while I show you guys. That die comes from the set here. Where are these dies? Back here further. Cutting Tools dies. It's called Christmas something. It's right about seasonal labels, maybe. Hang on. Let's go to the S's. Here it is, seasonal labels. It's that big one right there. But there's also a long skinny one, a shorter one, and 3 more. So there's 5 label dies all in this set. It's part of a set that goes, it's called Christmas to Remember and Christmas Season. So it coordinates with that. It was carryover. All right, so that's marinated. So we've got that good. And now for our leaf action. And we have to do the center. So let's grab the yellow back. And there's a little center stamp that you can use in the middle, right there. And that's it for the yellow. Perfect, Doris. Awesome. I will have one for you. And I will mail it with your kits tomorrow, Doris. And actually, I believe you're getting the sale-a-bration Hoorah Rah and Abigail Rose. So you don't have to send shipping for this class because you've already paid shipping on the other 2 classes. So this one would be $15. How does that sound? We work shipping deals, guys. All right, so here's my trick with this leaf. I don't want to put the little, hi Judy Immel. I don't want to put the little stem thing on my card. So when I go to ink this up, you guys, I'm gonna not ink up the little stem part. So you see I've got the little tang it. Yes, Laura Sullivan. This was the only class in August that you didn't sign up for. Another one I'll have to add to the wish list. Oh, I hope you're talking about the stamp set. Because I remember this was the only class you didn't take in. Yeah, Hildenel, and you have a kit going out tomorrow too. So we'll figure out what your shipping is too. Like, I know Doris has 2 going out, so that covers shipping. So I'm gonna, you guys, did you see I did not put ink right here? So that means I can butt this stamp right up to here. Hi, Holly. So then it didn't, it's like I masked, but I didn't mask, right? So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm only going to ink up to a certain point right here. And now I'm going to put another one over here. And because it doesn't put the little stem on the flower itself. So I'm going to do that one more time because I did like 5 of them on there, but just be careful not to put ink on the little stem area. And we're going to put another one maybe right here. Okay. So there you go. So that is an easy way, because it's photopolymer, you can do that. If it was red rubber, you probably would have to put some washi tape or something on there to help mask it. But because I could see where I was inking up, then I knew I wasn't putting ink there. And you know what? For good measure, let's just do one more, and we're going to have it coming out right there. But you can't just have 4, I guess. So we're going to do one more. You know that odd number rule thing, right? So let's go right there. There. So Marsha, this kit is $20 to have it mailed to you. It is $15, but $5 is extra for shipping, so $20. But I gave Doris, because Doris has 2 other classes that she's taking with me that she paid $5 to ship each one of them. So I can add this to her package without there being extra shipping. So I like to do that where I can save you guys shipping costs. But I don't believe Marsha. So Marsha, for you, this this is $36 and it's a $10 priority padded envelope. So I could also add a kit to your bag, to your package without paying shipping as well, if you do end up taking that. So what I advise you to do, if you are interested in a kit, is just reach out to me. And I'll make sure to get you signed up, and then we'll figure out like what to send. Like, can you get by with sending less because of shipping? Like I'm not afraid to say that I hate paying shipping. And so if I can save you guys shipping, I am not afraid to do that. And if you guys ever find loose change dollar bills in your kit, it's because, like Vera Anderson, you have 2 of them going out tomorrow and you paid shipping on both. Then I give back a couple bucks, because why not if I can consolidate shipments? So that got glued on the inside, you guys, right? So cool. Oh, so here's the deal. That needs to go in a hair so that you don't see it. Did you see what I did? I almost saw a little bit hanging out the edge. And so because I had used liquid glue, I could just shimmy it in just a hair. And now when you shut the card, you don't see it. So there's that. All right, so then we've got here, hi Julie Poindexter. We got some dimensionals we'll put on the back here. Yeah, I think it was Christina Bernard's. She's like, why did you, I don't think I'm mistaken, but Christina, if you're listening, I think it was you. she's like, I had some loose bills in my bag, my package. And she's like, why? I'm like, well, because I consolidated your shipments. So I don't do that on the upfront because I don't know when I'm going to be kitting up or mailing card classes out. But if I can work ahead and get one of my kits done early and consolidate it with the one that's on time, then that benefits you guys because then I can consolidate shipping. And I don't mind doing that. So this is coming together nice, you guys. Doris says she loves the money in the packages. Yeah, it's like Christmas when you get some extra money back, right? Sandy Wicklander was telling me her husband gets to take the money. I think that's what you said, Sandy, right? That he takes it and he saves it and he puts it all together somewhere, or like saves it for the future. I don't remember exactly what it was being used for, but I think you said he gets it. So I've been doing that since the beginning, I think. All right, so this is gonna go right here. I did put that flat with liquid glue, you guys, because I had popped up the label. And you saw I didn't put glue everywhere. I just put glue in the most strategic of spots, right? And then in your kits, you guys will have some iridescent rhinestones and some opal rounds. And I believe was a big surprise to get cash. Yeah, and my mom says, well, you don't have to do that. It's a lot of work to consolidate and figure things out. And I'm like, well, I give back where I can, you guys. Hi, Marcia Coolabert. Hope you had a great birthday the other day. So opal rounds looked awesome as the centers of the flowers, you guys. And you know what? I'm only going to put these two on for right now because we're not done with the card. I got embellishment happy. I want to show you guys. With the longer one, he claims it. Yes, that's right, Sandy. I remember that. So on the longer one, it looked nice having the ribbon over the top of that flower. But on this shorter one, the ribbon looked nice over here. And so here's what we have to do with the ribbon, you guys. We're going to put the tear and tape down and prep it and then have another piece ready. Now, because I inaccurately told my mom to cut 4 inches, you didn't have enough. So we threw in another one. So instead of cutting everybody 6 inches, we just added 2 inches to the kit, right? So this is how you want to do it. You're going to grab your little loose end here and attach it to the tear and tape. And then you're going to loop it up, loop it down, and then bring it back up, right? So far, so good. Then that little piece of tear and tape that was prepped, put that right over it. If for any reason your loops are a little bit shorter and you have a tail hanging off, just cut that little tail off, right? Okay, so now we've got our 2 loopy loops, but we now need to have our taily tails. So here's one, and I'm gonna trim it. Don't worry, this is like really Frankensteining our ribbon, I get it. And I'm gonna have another piece of tear and tape ready here. And then we're gonna have this one come out this way, right? You almost gotta cut it apart to make it do this action, okay? So I know it uses a little bit more tear and tape, but with the way that we gave you the ribbon, this is the only way I could think. Hi, Jean Maxwell, a little bit late. Oh, we better late than never. Okay, so it still looks pretty cool, right? I mean, it's gonna give you the same concept, except for your tails are just, there's like a lot of loose ends back there. Okay, so I would grab a dimensional, and I'm gonna put one way on the end, I'll put one in the middle, put one right there. And then that's gonna go right onto our card front. And then we'll trim our tails. But because of using a little shorter of a sentiment, I liked it over on this side, and then it kind of, you get to see the center of that yellow flower there, right? And you put it right there. And you got your 2 little guys here. Hi, Pamela Ritter. And then grab your ribbon scissors, and we are going to go and trim that tail and trim that tail. So, the first time I've ever used this ribbon, and I was torn about using it for this card. I really was, you guys. I didn't know, I don't like to combine, it's like an off-white, and everything else is on it is white, but it's got this silver lace on it, like the silver edging, which is really pretty. And I thought the vanilla kind of off stands. I don't usually put vanilla with white together, I don't, but I thought it looked creamy white to me. And so that's what we went with. So you got your opal rounds in, and then you have 3 iridescent pearls as well in your kit. And so I've got some loose ones hanging out in here. So let's see if I can get that little guy right here. Nope, it landed right there. So this guy's gonna go over there. And let's see what I got in here. Okay, I've got some of this stuff. We're gonna grab the pokey tool, and you guys had 3 little small ones, and you're gonna put one there. If you, well, honestly, you can put them wherever you want. But if you're doing it like me, I put 2 on the top and then 1 on the bottom. And that's that. So it was my oh so pretty purple flower card, you guys. Stampin' Up! Has a lot of flower sets. I will be completely honest with you. And so when they have flower sets, that's what I use because I want to show you guys the products. So, but then for this class, it's the monthly class. And I pulled in the Lighthouse card to be more of a gender neutral card. And then we have the kids card. And so I tried to get all 3 different occasions going on. So that's what you have for this one. Thanks, everybody. Glad you like it. All right, so we're done with this. Yeah, so just think, any designer series paper you could use with a layout like this, right? This is a fun card to case because you don't know that you get to see both sides of the designer paper until you open it up. Oh, yes, you betcha, Cindy. Or Carol. Carol, yes, you just messaged me. Okay. Sorry, I got that frog yet. M as in Mary, Niner, N as in Nancy, W as in Walter, Z as in zebra, 7 as in the number 7, 2 as in my favorite number 2, and G as in go. Let's go on to the next card. All right. So we'll save this for later. We'll pull that out again. Oh, thanks, Cindy Runtree. I appreciate that. Helping out. Okay. So we are going to go on to, what do we want to do? We are going to go to A&W. Just kidding. Where the food's as good as the root beer is their slogan. And let's clean these. All right. Bear Lighthouse. Bear Lighthouse. Let's do the bear. All right. So let's move these out of the way and make room. Papa Bear is coming to town. So we have the owl and his stump. And, oh, Linda Hall says she hopes she wins that one. Yeah, it would be a fun card to win. Marsha Long would take a kit. Perfect. Okay, Marsha, send me a text message as well. I really would appreciate that. That would be great. And we'll make that happen along with your sampler. So we get you your sampler. So we need Smoky Slate for our owl buddy. Our Smokey the Bear here is in soft suede, and the stump, and there's grass in here too. I'll show you in a second here what we've got for making. So we've got grass over yonder. This is, I'm not sure, but we got some sentiments going on over here, and the stamp set is called Happier Than Happy, and there are a set of dies with it as well. Did you change the host code today? I don't think I did today, Laura. I think I did yesterday. I think that this host code is still active. Oh, Marilyn, I just got them off of Amazon. They're just lights like this. So they were just lights that I got off of Amazon. I can't tell you. I probably got them 3 years ago. And I'm glad that they light up stuff really good. So, oh, I got stuff everywhere. All right, that can back up though, and we're gonna put that back. So they're called Happy Forest Friends. Hi, Maggie Cooper from Florida. Happier Than Happy, we're gonna be using the bear and the owl. And some of the sentiments. I think I'm gonna make mine a thanks card because this is gonna be a winner chicken dinner for somebody next week. And that way it can be a thanks card. But it's perfect if you need to make a little baby card, it'd be awesome. I don't think that's the one I used. Oh, as long as it goes through Laura. So the same thing happened with Penny Powell today. So Penny put in her order. The host code worked, but it wasn't the host code that was on here when Kelly went live a couple hours ago, but it still worked. I have a couple of them, and I'm in the process of transitioning, and as long as the order gets on a host code, it doesn't matter which host code it is. I'm just happy that you guys get it on the host code, or I should say on the order, on the workshop, right? Versus me having to call Stampin' Up! Later. So as long as it goes through, that's all that matters. So no worries on that. So let's flipper still skin that back. Okay, so we have here let's get that back in order. So we have, that one is not what we're using. So the card, let's look at the card though, you guys. This is what we got. Now, so this one is harder because if you don't have this bear set or the owl, right, you'd have to improvise. And I was trying to think about what you could use potentially. A deer running through the forest would be cool too. The designer series paper is got like woodlands on the back of it. So let's pull out the kit so you guys can see. And this piece of designer series paper is potentially different for, so one sheet, 12 by 12, has a little bit of grass area on the bottom, and it has all these trees coming up, right? So this is like a 4-inch by 3.5-inch mat. And if you got the bottom piece of the designer series paper, you got grass in your kit already, meaning grass on the bottom. So some of you will have that, right? But not everybody got that, right? Because the paper, only 3 out of 9 people would get that. So a third of the people are going to get their kind of, or 1/3, yeah, 1/3 of people would get the grass on the bottom. So what we did is we put grass on the bottom here with this stamp. And so that's something I'm going to show you guys how to do. That's not going to be necessary for everybody though. That's why I want to kind of call that out now. So in your kit then, you have your piece of designer series paper, which has a mat on it. And for me, for my online, I wanted to show you guys this paper conservationist, right? So I had to cut 2 trees and actually took them out of the middle of here because that's okay. Nobody's gonna ever see that. I don't believe that's what we did for your kits. In your kits, you probably got just a mat, but that's just something to always remember that if you're gonna be covering up the mat and you need to die cut something, instead of getting a new piece of paper, use your mat, okay? So that is what you got here. You should have your 2 trees then. Oh, you guys, we didn't Stella anything on this card. Okay, so I definitely would not Stella their colored area, but you could do this binding on the edge here, right here. You gotta pull out the Stella and remember to use her. All right, so we're just gonna Stella up that edging of the binding. Sorry, backtracked a hair, but had to put some Stella on there. And while I got the Stella in my hand, we are going to Stella these trees real quick. So that's what made me think of it, you guys. I'm like, oh, we can Stella the trees. Okay, so as long as you have your trees, you can Stella those and the stump, okay? So oddest thing though about this stump is it does not match up identically to the stump below it. And I would have to assume that was intentional. Hi, Millie Kindle. So what I mean by this stump right here doesn't match up identical. It is off. Yeah, you got to remember to do that, Linda. That's half the battle, is remembering. It doesn't quite match up. And let me just, this gets glued down onto it. I think there was a little bit of a shadow. So here's another one where you don't need a lot of glue, just a little bit. And that gets glued right onto here. And now you'll be able to see what I mean. It doesn't quite, you see there's crumb cake hanging out the bottom and the edges. So just, that's part of it, you guys. I questioned it myself and I didn't know what to do, but I'm like, oh, and pretty much matches. So, all right, back to business. So you have your 2 trees and you have your 2 stump pieces, and then you have your piece of ribbon. You have 2 of these are part of the designer series paper, that same package, right? And we're gonna be using this side. Thanks, Sarah Mitchell. I'm glad that you like them. These are 2x1s and there's 2 of them. All right, in your kit, you'll have this piece of paper. This is for you to stamp whatever you want to stamp. If it's your bear and your owl, great. If it's not and it's something else, that is what this piece is for. And we're going to do that in a second. And by the magic of TV, you'll see I have mine already done already. Yay. And there's a tag in your kit, you guys. And this tag actually comes from this die set as well. So if you look at it here, it's right in here. So that tag comes from this set. There's mushrooms. Mushrooms galore in here, and there's acorns and leaves. Oh my, okay? So much fun in this die set. So you got that, and then you'll have your white mat, and then you're gonna have your embossed crumb cake mat with the timber embossing folder. You guys, this is free right now with a $50 purchase. It's one of the new sale-a-bration items that got it added to the mix with the seashells embossing folder. and gingham. Those are both options to get for free. So that's what all comes in your kit, plus a little butterfly for his hand is hanging out somewhere in your kit. You should have done all the trees on the mat for the kit. Yep, we should have, but so what happens is each mat you need 2 trees. And I have helpers that help me, Marcia, with my die cutting, and I did not have the mats cut at the time that they needed to start prepping the die cutting. So I have scraps galore of little strips, and that's basically what they used are my little strips for those that got the kits. Jeannie Parker got it today. Woohoo! Okay, so make sure you guys burnish your edges. Hi, Renese Cross. The stump works best with the owl. Yes. We're going to have our little owl hanging out on that stump. Coins ding, coins ding. Yep. Mushrooms. I love it. My little Mario dude's right here, Penny. There he's hanging out. He's my little mascot. All right, so there's that. All right, so we can get a little bit glue happy, guys. So this little mat here can get glued onto our card front. It's a really rumply embossing folder, so sometimes I'll put a little more adhesive right in the middle like that. All right, so that just gets centered, okay? And let's hang tight and get some stamping done. Because if you need to stamp your grass, you really want to stamp your grass now before going ahead and gluing it down. So we're going to need this. We need a bunch of things. Now these are red rubber stamps, you guys. So I don't put the foam mat underneath when I use the red rubber. Oh, thanks, Patsy. Okay, so we're going to let's do the grass first. But because the grass hangs over the edge, we're going to put a little scrap underneath us so we don't get it all over our desk area. And so this is the grass, right? Figure out which way you like it. Hi, Barbara Grabby. Oh, no problem. I think you probably had your team meeting tonight. I think if I had to guess, you guys usually have yours on Thursday nights. Probably where Faye was then too. And then this goes here, and we're just gonna put some grass along the bottom. If you don't have the grass stamp, you don't have to do the grass. It's just a little extra thing that puts a little greenery on the bottom like that to make it look like there's grass at the bottom of the wooded woods. Oh, Barbara, I hope you had a great meeting. Okay, so that is really all I had with the Mossy Meadow, okay? So then let's do this piece here. So you just need to fit your bear on here. So Big Papa Bear, it looks really good in smoky slate. It is his color. It brings out his eyes really nicely. So let's inky up him and go to stamp him. Keep him to the side, guys. You need to fit your owl on here. So when I cut this piece of paper, it was strategically cut at 4 1/4 by 2 3/4 so that I got 8 mats or 8 of these out of a sheet. All right. Oh man, he looks hot. Look at him. He's nice. Very nice. Okay. So that's it for him. Not done with the brown though. So we have this piece and we need to do our, we're going to do a little more grass action. Okay. So we're going to put a stump down first. Stumpy is here. So you could use either crumb cake or soft suede, either one. I think I'm going to go with crumb cake because my soft suede is really dark. And I think I'm going to do my stump in crumb cake down here. And I missed the corner, so we're going to just flip it over and try again. So it's hard to see with that white behind there. So we're going to do, there's our stump. Very nice. Okay. Then we're going to come back and do our grass underneath our stump. Yep, the grass grows around the stump. That's what I think. I'm going to flip it upside down though and have that less humpy action going on right there. And then I'm going to flip it around and have it the opposite way and just fill it in. And you get all these different lines going on. And we're going to do one more. You guys, that probably sounded really bad. Sorry. So we're just going to do that. So all I was really trying to do is get a lot of grass going on there. Okay. So that's it for that. Now we're an owl. I would use smoky slate. And the thing on Monday night is people couldn't get the owl to like land on the stump. They were like a little bit above it. And so the joke was that the owl is coming in for his crash landing, okay? So does the grass stamp come with the set? It sure does, Patsy. So you might practice or you might just go for it, but you want to get your little leggings on your stump. So I did okay. He's grounded, which is good. So Patsy, anyone know the cutoff day to get the next month's paper pumpkin? Stacy Burns, it was yesterday. Oh man, Stacy was the 10th, August 10th. It's always the 10th of the month. What kind of action, Jeannie Parker? Action Jackson. Yeah. So Stacy, I think I have an extra one yet. If you really, really, really want it, I would set it aside for you. And it's just, to my house, it's $26, and then it's $6 to mail it to your house is usually what it is. So I do have extra in case you really want one. Okay. If you really, really want a zig-a-zig-ah. So Patsy Hudson, the grass is right here. Yep. It's part of it. So, all right. So our owl is not done. He needs to be hanging out with the bear over here. So you have enough room to stamp your owl and your bear, if that's what you end up doing. Okay, Stacy, send me a text again, and remind me that you want a paper pumpkin. Okay, I know that Sherry Stewart wanted one for a customer today, so I was able to help her, and I don't know if I have any more left then. Maybe one more. Maybe. We'll see. I gotta go through the list. All right, so now, you guys, what I would do before you go to your machine and cut this, I would cut these apart just like that, because then you can fit them on your die cutting machine at the same time. Okay? So by the magic of TV, I have my 2 done right here. So yay, that's done. Stamping, we're not done. So there's a little sentiment here. It's going to be thanks, and so we're going to do that in soft suede and practice on your paper. Good. And then go to your tag, stamp that. All right. So there's hello baby in there, and also welcome, like the bear saying, hey, hi, welcome to your new home. So I'm gonna go with hello baby on this one, even though I said I was gonna do thanks, because apparently I put hello baby on this side. So what goes really good with the hello baby, though, there is a stamp in here called happier than happy for you. So whoever gets this, hopefully they have somebody in their life that may need a baby card. So no thanks this time. We're going to do a baby card. And soft suede is what I would use. And I'm going to put it up top left away from our owl, just to give him a little room. And I think that's it for stamping now. Whew, that was a lot of stamping. Okay, so we can get glue happy here and here. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to tell you guys a little tip. If you do die cut your pieces out of your mat here, you can't just put glue all over and then put this down and press it, because you're going to get glue oozing out everywhere here. So if you do that, what I might recommend is putting the glue on here versus on there, and then you will avoid that area. It's a very versatile set. It sure is, Sharon. I definitely agree. So then this guy is going to go here, and you can wiggle with it until it goes where you want it. And this is going to be for our inside, which made it all the way over there. Isn't that cool? This one would be awesome with a double mat. If you would have had soft suede around the white and then the white, that would be even prettier. Okay, so for these guys, what I would do, I saw in class on Monday night people gluing them directly onto here. And that works if you want to do that. But what I like to do is put my dimensionals back here. And I'm going to put one right in the center there. And I'm going to do that on both sides, like that. Okay, so that's prepped with dimensionals. I'm going to pick off these two, right? And I'm going to pick up, I'm eyeballer, so I'm just going to, and figure out what you like. So this one's got a circle going that way, or you could do it that way. There was more going on this way. And so there's about 1/4 inch, and I'm just going to pick that up with it. And then I'm going to do the same with this side. And I am not going to worry so much if it's exactly right. Right? If I want to now, I could get my ruler out and measure and be like, okay, that's 3/4 Okay, that's a little bit more than 3/4. But I think when you get the whole card all put together, if you call your man baby, it could pass as a guy card. You definitely could. That is a very valid point. Hello, baby. Yeah, I don't call Tyler baby though. He is definitely dear. Oh dear. He's DEAR. I think he's told me to not call him baby. I don't think he likes that. But you know what? We have friends and we just went camping with them and they were calling each other baby all the time. I'm like, always happy to have your little pet names, right? So ours is deer. So there you go. That's how this is going down on here. Okay. Gotta go, Cindy. We'll catch you later. All right. So we've got that pretty much planted on here. And now I did put my stump and part of my bear and my bird up with dimensionals. So let's grab those back. I'm going to put a dimensional in the middle of my stump. I'm going to put 2 dimensionals in the middle of my bear and 1 at the top more of my owl. And the stump is going to go down first, something about right here. And for my bear, I used to say, hello, baby. It's like the Big Bopper. Hello, ladies. All right. So I'm going to glue feet flat. And also, as long as I'm at it, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue right down the spine of my tree, or I should say the trunk. So bear here. Feet are planted like that. And now this little tree is, I made it look like it's taller by sneaking it around that back left side of the stump. So you're just going to catch it and make it look like it's taller, right? I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. That's a song, you guys. Okay, then I had a tag and it says hello, baby, because that's going to need to go there. But we got one, oh, there it is. We got one more tree to put on. And this one is grounded on our grass floor of our woods. So there's not a lot of leaves, and so the sunlight is getting down to our floor here so that so that our grass can grow. All right, so there's that one. Now our owl, I have glue on his feet. And so I like things to be grounded, flat, and then adhered and popped up with dimensionals if possible. So he's going to hang out on the stump with his feet, and then he's popped up with his head. All right. Now, you guys have about 3 or 3.5 inches of this stuff, and you could just tie it into a knot and put a glue dot on it, like to attach it, but I really did just poke this through the hole like that, and then it should come through, and I just tied it into a knot. I don't even think I did it twice. I just did it once. So hopefully you guys, you just kind of make a little loop like that and get your tail underneath there. If you have nails, it helps. Or if you have somebody that can help you with it, that might be good too. But I really just tied it around there like that. And then this got popped up with some dimensionals as well. So we got 1 and we're gonna do 2. All right, buckle my shoe. Hey, baby. This reminds me of the Bopper. I remember La Bamba, watching La Bamba, and that was on there. Okay, so this is going to go right there. And grab your ribbon scissors, and you can trim the little tail on this side. Oh, man, I want to get the angle just right. Okay, so it's going to go like that. And then here's this one on this side. And then it doesn't cover up our tree too much. In your kit, you'll have a big butterfly. And our bear just happens to be able to catch it. So, grab off one of your little guys. It's in your card somewhere, I promise. He's hanging out, flying through the air with the greatest of ease. I got a butterfly outline of a glue dot that is causing me problems. Everything's getting stuck to it. All right, so there it is, you guys. We got our second card done. And it wasn't so crazy, I don't think. Just a little bit of stamping. Thanks, Cindy. I should make up some more of these. I really should, because you never know when you need a baby card. And that's what it looks like on the inside. So it could be a great welcome card too. Yeah. So, or birthday card. A little kid, if you've got a little birthday card that you need, that'll be perfect. So that designer series paper, I don't know if you'll get the real aspect of it, but let's see what it looks like in here. It's called Happier Than Happy. There. Oh, it's called Happy Forest Friends. Okay. So see, that's the one right here. It's got these tall, skinny trees, and then there's the green on the background. And this is the other one that we used here. So, and then there's this really cool big sheet of paper that has all these big trees on it. So cool. Oh, you guys like it. Yay. Okay. All right. So we have 2 down and 1 to go. So let's put this back over here. Put this over here and grab our lighthouse. All right, you guys. Oh, I asked Tammy Sokolik. So Tammy helped me kit this up. And I'm like, do you think people like having all these little bits and parts in their kits? And she's like, well, I think maybe more so at the end when the card is put together, but when you're trying to assemble and put the little pieces on, it might be hard. But I think that, she's like, I think they like the final aspect or the end of it. Oh, Marsha, you'll get one for the designer series paper. So Marsha, what you'll have to do is you just got to find yourself a black binder that is about 1 inch, or white binder, or purple one, whatever one you want. And then you got to get yourself some page protectors. And then the holiday one, this is what the holiday one looks like. And this is what you'll get in that packet. And you just have to glue all your pieces onto the white paper. Okay? It'll also include the sale-a-bration papers. So, hi Judy Bobo. Popping in for a minute. Yay, you were at a baby shower. You're heading back. Awesome. Okay, so you guys, this is a kit. There's a lot of pieces. Tammy helped me kit this up last week, so my mom didn't have to, and my mom was so happy that Tammy helped me because there's really a lot of little pieces, you guys. I promise there are lots of little pieces. So let's move these things. Oh man, dominoes going on here. So let's get my stamps out of the way and move this and this as well, and these out the way, and this is the card we're gonna make. All right. Oh, Doris loves her DSP sampler. So the DSP sampler, you know, I should read you guys something really quick. I think I can find it really fast. Sorry, you're gonna see some emails and a lot of them that I gotta respond to. But Judy Immel sent me this, and I thought, you guys, I gotta share this with you. Hang on. Judy Immel, I hope you're okay. I don't even think you're watching. But Judy Immel wrote a message to me, guys. Sorry, it's right here. So this is the DSP sampler email I wrote, and this is what Judy Immel said. So that is a great way to use all your paper from the mini catalog. It's so easy to use and design your cards. Coordinating your paper to design your beautiful cards. Awesome tool to have on hand to really see what the paper looks like. So there you go. That is from somebody who's been getting a DSP sampler from me. I didn't ask her to write that either, but she's been getting a DSP sampler from me from the very beginning when I first started doing them probably 3 years ago, and she has not missed one since. And it's great for, oh, she's watching. What did I do? Judy, you're so funny. You're listening. I'm sharing your email with everybody. It was so awesome that you wrote that email. So Judy wrote that email, and she's a very avid customer and demonstrator, right? So she gets to use that sampler from both ends and from both perspectives, right? But if you're an avid customer, it's great because you can see and pull out the paper to see, oh, what this coordinates with this or this coordinates with this. Oh my gosh, I forgot about this. Yep. And if you're a demonstrator, you can use it in classes or to show your customers what the paper looks like. So yes. So I've gone from making 8 of them up to 48 of them, you guys. Yeah, so Judy's been with me since I've been making 8, and we've come a long way. So the stamp set here for this one, you guys, is called Lighthouse Point, and the dies are amazing. Oh, if you love lighthouses, I don't know why you wouldn't have this one. This is so cool. The dies that go with this. I know they've had lighthouse stamp sets in the past, but this one has dies that go with it. Oh, man. And honestly, you guys, this kit, it was designed in a way that all you need to have is a stamp sentiment. And I made it into a gatefold. And I purposely used the host paper, sale-a-bration paper, not sale-a-bration, the host paper called Design a Daydream, because it has like a flock of seagulls, right? Flying behind our lighthouse. Is that not cool? So everything that is on this card is from here except for two things. The embossing folder in the back is called Into the Clouds. And then the waves dies were here. The waves dies is where the clouds come from, okay? So you guys have a gatefold going on. So when you get your card kit from me, you're still gonna have to burnish. But what you're gonna have to do, if you're doing a gatefold, one of the things that I make sure I do is I match up my seam here. So when I roll this one over, I try to make sure I match in the middle here so that they butt up to each other. And I hold it with my fingers while I burnish the edge so that they don't overlap or they don't come too short. And so this is called a gatefold. So you guys get a fun fold tonight. Yay. An easy peasy fun fold. All right. So in your kit then you guys have your white base. It's all about the base and that goes in the middle. And what we're going to do on our base is Judy Immel, it was so funny. You were watching. I love it. So there's your lighthouse. We're going to stamp that on the inside. And you will have 2 white mats, right? So there's 2 white mats that will get glued here and here. You have your flock of seagulls for over here. And then you have your Into the Clouds. So now you can kind of see, it's so hard to see it, but there are clouds on there. You have your 2 lighthouse pieces. You have 2 cloud pieces that are white. You have 2 cloud pieces that are gray. You have your little balcony landing for at the top here. And then this little label thing. And then this piece of crumb cake. This piece of crumb cake, you're gonna need to make your sand. So the sand is here. And how you do that, you take your finger and you just, I don't know, for some reason I've always used my middle finger to do it. I feel like it's my longest finger and I've got most like stability with it. So I've taken that and I use my nail part and you're gonna make sand. Don't you wish it was this easy to make sand and not get it all everywhere? All right, so there you go. You just rip that top off, okay? But now you wanna give it some texture. So we might as well do our stamping and do our ink processing right now. So let's just set this stuff out of the way. Now these are also photopolymer stamps, so I'm gonna pull this in. Lynn Beasley loves the lighthouse dies. Yes, they are amazing. So people had a little bit of trouble lining up our stamps, lining up the stamps. These clouds are in the dies. No, Laura, those clouds are from the waves dies. I don't think there are cloud dies in here. Oh, there's a cloud die. There is a cloud die, but not those. Those are from the waves dies. So the waves that were a pre-order, they were pre-catalog from like April, I think we could order them, and then they made it into the annual catalog. So, all right. So sentiments in here for if you guys have this, it says sending you love and light or so much thanks fits in there. And then on the inside, I'm going to put always here for you. So we're going to start with cherry cobbler and we're going to do sending you love and light. And that can go on this one. Okay, photopolymer stamp. It's easy to kind of see that and line it up. Good, very nice. So there's that. And then we have, I'm gonna set that there and try not to get my arm in it. We have the lighthouse. And so there's a solid lighthouse and then there's that 2-tone action. So I use smoky slate. Now this would be a stamp set where if you don't get a nice good image, you could condition your stamp. Okay, it's really hard to get this thing straight because it looks like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Oh, thanks, Betty Pyle. I'm glad that you like this card too. So there's our lighthouse. It is looking like it's leaning. So I wonder if that has something to do with that. We're gonna try it again on the back and see if that helped it. Okay. I'll put it right there. All right. Maybe it's better. Not quite sure. But, so that's it, I think, for smoky slate. And then we're going to go back to the cobbler. If you guys didn't do this yet, you need to practice. I would practice on your practice paper because it's kind of hard to line this up. I cannot lie. There's one ridge at the top, which kind of lines up with the ridge there. And you're just gonna hover until you get it exactly where you want it, and then go for it. Okay, so you've got that. So the lighthouse is super cool in cherry cobbler, or you could use Pacific Point would be awesome. What color did you stamp the lighthouse in? It was smoky slate, Jeannie Cobbler. Jeannie Cobbler, ha ha! Jeannie Parker. It was cherry cobbler and smoky slate. The base was smoky slate and the top was cherry cobbler. I bet you've never been called Jeannie Cobbler before. All right, so we're gonna put here, always here for you, right there. Perfect. And then there's sand. So we need to grab this piece of paper, and we're gonna put some sand at the bottom. So the sand also comes in the set, you guys. All of these can be used for sand, okay? So you're very welcome, Jeannie Parker. All right, so let's grab the sand, and there's actually, right here, there's sand too. So that's the one we're gonna use, that little skinny one. So what I'm gonna do is flip it upside, oh, I got the sand hill going up. So we got sand underneath our lighthouse, okay? I think that might be all for stamping for tonight. So let's just move these over there, or until I figure out we need to do more. All right, so there's that. Oh, we aren't done. We have to do the sand here yet. And that's what started us stamping. So with the crumb cake ink and a sponge dauber, so this is what you have. Hi, Yvette Smith. So that's what it looks like currently. But if you take your sponge dauber, you can add a nice top to it with some coloring. Yes, Linda Hall, I have more of this one. Yep, an email's perfect. And then I'm gonna actually take and rough it up a little bit and add a little bit more. It's not doing much. It just put a little bit of like granule texture on it. That was it. Okay, so there's that. All right, hi Jessica Rodriguez from Kansas. All right, so there's what we've got. Now we get to assemble. And I'm just gonna flip this over and do my Stella ing right on here. So this one is fun to Stella. So Stella that lighthouse up or down. Just give it the Stella. All right, and then do this little guy too. I'm gonna call it the airing porch up there. And I think your clouds here too could use a little bit of love with the Stella. So do that. I know that I'm using my white base for my inside, but no one will ever know that. Except for you guys, because you're watching me. But whoever gets this card after the person that gets this card will never know that. All right, so there's our Stella in action. All right, let's get glue happy. So let's put glue on here. We're gonna do glue here. You guys, this is gonna be a lot of gluing. Glue here, and we're gonna do glue and glue. Okay, let's just go for it. Guys, that's a lot of gluing, but watch this. So I often say if I'm gonna open up the glue bottle, I'm gonna maximize having it open, okay? And we're gonna do this one. Maybe we'll wait, 4 is good. So this can go onto here. And then we're going to put our designer paper on that one. Make sure your birds are flying the right way, not upside down. So that'll go here. This can go on the inside. And the sand goes, make sure your clouds are facing the right way. Oh man, I can't even see. Okay, I think they go like that. Yep, okay, so grab this one. This will go at the bottom. Now, if your sand hill is a little bit longer, you need to take your scissors and just trim it. You can, right? If it's a little shorter, all you have to do is trim your pool party, right? If you have a cutter at home, you can work on that. All right, so now we can do this one and this one. And you know, let's see, that might be good. So just be careful with this. You just need to put a little bit of glue. I wouldn't even worry so much about the sides, but you know what? Just a little bit. A little bit. And as long as I'm here, I'm going to do this. All right, and I am one that always covers up my glue because I feel like otherwise it creates a little glue ball in the inside of the glue. All right, so this goes on here. It lines up perfectly. I love it. Not like that stump. That stump got me, but this is perfect. It lines right up. Okay, and then this one goes on the right side. Now I only put the designer paper on the right hand side purposely because when you put this on here, this stays on here where this one opens up. So it's really cool. You can see all the birds flying around. Now this one, I did pop this up. And so what I would do for popping it up, I will put them around the way left side, like up and down. And then on here, because I don't want to risk going over because I don't want it to have adhesive right here, I will put the dimensionals up the track here, right there. And then they're exactly where I want them, and I know I don't risk going over the edge of either. So when I put this on here, it's off to the left a little bit. I've got the same margin on the top, bottom, and the left-hand side. And you can kind of wiggle it till you get it where it needs to go, and then squish it good. Then this one gets a dimensional. My Sending You Love and Light will get a dimensional on the, oh, you don't want to go over the edge. Okay, so here, I'm going to put these on here. We're going to talk about that label in just a second. So we're just going to do these four going up this. And then this can go off to the left a little bit. It's a pretty tall lighthouse, you guys. It really is. It's making a statement. So we have here this little guy, my airing porch that goes at the top. It needs a little glue, so don't need a lot though, I'll be honest with you. Like that looks good, and just a little. I'm gonna do each of these individually because I'm gonna make sure I get them on good. All right, now this, it's like, it looks good without it, right? But then once you put it on, you're like, ooh, that looks nice. That just sits up here. Gotta give it a second. Use the warmth from your fingers to like let that adhesive bond to the lighthouse. If you don't have enough glue on, it might not stick and you might have to add more, but we're gonna give it a second here. All right, I think that works. Then these little cloud things, they make it look like there's storms rolling in, right? Okay, so you gotta make sure your clouds are the right way. The rolled edge is the top, the rough edge is the bottom. And so same with this one, I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue around here. So this is where I asked Tammy, I'm like, are they gonna hate me? Because I gave them all these really little intricate die cut pieces. And Tammy's like, maybe when they're putting it together, but once they have it put together, then probably not, because it really brings the card together, having all these little pieces on it. So there's one cloud. And then we gotta do the other one. Same thing, just a little bit of glue. I'll grab it from right there. It does help having some nails, guys. I can't deny it. But if you don't have nails, they make this thing called a reverse tweezers like this. And you could always use one hand to steady the other hand. You could always use your reverse tweezers like this and hold that. Have I tried to put yellow paper in windows of the lighthouses? Linda, I haven't. This is my first one that I've done, but you definitely could. Yeah, you could cut a little strip of yellow and put it behind there. I don't see why not. So this is where reverse tweezers comes in handy, right? You feel like a doctor now. So scalpel, reverse tweezers. Okay, so this is not sticking, so I need more glue. So I could tell it wasn't going, but yes. Linda, I think that having yellow for the lighthouse would be awesome. Definitely awesome. So we're gonna try this again. Put that right there. Let's give that a second to bond. Okay, so the one cloud is popped up. So we're gonna get some dimensionals for that. Put them here, and I'm gonna use a little one. If I have a little guy. Ah, I do. I found a little scrap. So that'll work here. And I put that, lightly set that back here. Gotta be careful that you don't put any hanging over the edge. And then this one, you know what? I'll use that little reverse tweezers again. That was really nice. So put a little glue here. And then that one can go right underneath here. I want to see the gray though, so put it right there. Now this, I was gonna put a dimensional on, but then I decided, you know what? I'm gonna put my dimensional where it needs to go here, and then I'm gonna put the other one here. Then I don't risk it hanging over the edge. So there's two there, and then I'm gonna put a little bit of liquid glue. Color the back side of the vellum with yellow. For the window, could be really cool. Penny Pole, yes, yes. Linda Hall, did you catch that? That is a great idea. Color vellum with a yellow blend, absolutely. And then put that behind there. Yes, that is a great idea. All right, somebody should do that got this kit from me. See what it looks like. I bet it will look super cool. All right, you guys. I talked about that I usually put ribbon on everything, but I did not do it with this card. And I had an idea though. I didn't include ribbon or anything, but I thought I would share something with you in case you want to try it. So give me 10 seconds. I'm gonna go get some linen thread. So I forgot about this until right now. So let me find that. So I went through a lot of linen thread today because I made you guys, for this class, I made your double bow there, I made your double bow there, and there's 12 inches there. So I went through a lot of linen thread, and I have this much left, and maybe a little bit more. But you don't need a lot. So you guys, this is a optional add-on if you want to try it. I don't know if how it's gonna work or not, but I just couldn't picture putting like a little inch piece of this linen thread in your bag. And I didn't know if you, by the time you got done with this card, you'd be sick of it. But I thought, you know what? I like to incorporate ribbon on as much as I can. And I thought, well, how can I incorporate it on here? Because this card looks super cool just the way it is, right? And we're not done with it. There are some pebbles yet that we're going to put on that are these faux sea glass shapes. So I'm going to take this little scrap of linen thread, and I'm gonna cut a little baby piece. So you guys don't have this in your kits. This is just an idea in case you wanna try it. Oh man, get off of there. I fold it in half, and it's so little. So this is where maybe the tweezers will come in handy. So I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna fold it in half. I'm gonna make it look like grass coming out of the beach, like, you know, the dead grass that's always there. All right, so I've got this folded in half, and what I'm thinking I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put a glue dot, like, and I don't know how this is gonna work, if it's gonna dry or like usually when you use liquid glue, I'm just gonna put a little bit of it here, and we're just gonna give it a second and let that dry. And I'm gonna see, because I'm making a little baby glue dot, because if you use these glue dots, they're too big and it's hard to cut them into pieces. So what I'm envisioning is letting that glue dry for a second, and then I'm gonna set some grass into it, and it's gonna make it look like there's grass growing. So while that is drying, you guys should have in your kit 3 little faux sea glass shapes. And there's green, there's white, and there's the Bermuda color. So and there's all different sizes of these rocks. Some are small, some are medium, and some are even smaller. So I'm just gonna grab these 3, and then maybe this guy right here. Paper pumpkin glue dots, maybe. Oh, Penny Powell. Oh, did I not pick that up? Maybe I didn't. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I did. There it is. So I wonder if I have, oh, you know what? You're right. You're right. Look at these little babies. Okay. we got our gems on. All right, so good idea, very good idea. So we're going to nix the glue, waiting for the glue, and we're going to take a little paper pumpkin glue dot, put that there, pick this off, roll it a little bit, but so Penny Powell suggested doing paper pumpkin glue dots. And so there's smaller. So we got one there. There it is. It's like, it blends into the table, you guys. All right, so we're gonna do one more here. Yeah, so Laura, I've cut glue dots in half and I am not successful at it. It gets goo everywhere and it ends up rolling. And so here I'm gonna just take another one of these. I folded it in half and I'm gonna just stick it right into my glue dot. So see if this works. So this is just my idea to add ribbon to this card, because if you guys have been watching me for a little bit, you know I like to add glue or ribbon to everything. So if I can, right? So if it looks good. And we're gonna try to get that there. And get this. Okay, so that glue dot didn't like me. So oh man, the first one worked really good. Okay, so this might be like, okay, way too much for anybody, but I think it does add to it. So what I did is I put a little glue dot. Like you can see right here, I added a little bit of linen thread. I put a glue dot down, and just for fun, entertain me for a little bit longer, we're gonna put one on this side, right over here. So put that glue dot down. Oh, maybe. And we're gonna do it again. All right, so glue dot down. Cut yourself a little bit of linen thread. I don't know, like that much. I just felt like if I put this in your kits, you guys, by the time you got to this part, you'd be like, yep, we're good. Don't need to do any more. Yes, exactly. I did this on a class that was called Paradise Palms, and it was Let's Just Stamp in May. Yep, Laura, you're exactly correct. That is the class, and that's where we did it. It was Diane Bogenhagen's idea to do it. So there, look at this. There. Yay! Oh my gosh, it's so awesome. Perfect. It does, and it's a way to add to it, because you always are walking through the beach and there's like grass that's growing, right? And it looks dead half the time. And so that's what this linen thread would do. And if you separate the linen thread, you get these little strands of grass. That's so awesome. There. Hi, Cynthia. Little late, but that's okay. We're just wrapping up our last card, and we're going to do a drawing for Sale-a-bration board number 8. We're going to do a live winner chicken dinner for the door prize, and I have some cards to give away. So there, when you have just the smallest piece of linen thread, don't feel like you have to throw it away. Put it back in your bag and use it for another day. There, I rhymed. I'm a poet, and I don't even know it. That's what my grandpa would say to me when I rhymed. All right. So, but again, you guys, you know, if you have linen thread at home, you could definitely add that. I did not include linen thread in your kits because I felt like the card was great without it, and I like what I just said. So there we go. All right, let's see. Let's bring all of our cards in for the money shot, is what I like to call this. So we have here our bear and our owl in the woods meets our lighthouse on the beach meets our flowers in the air. So I thought that this monthly class turned out great. So again, you guys, I had 8 sets going into the night. Thanks, Penny Paul. I love you too. I had 8 sets going into the night. I think I have 4 already accounted for. So I think I am safe to say that if anybody is still interested, you know, you can always know for sure. I'll send the reminder links and the videos out on Saturday. And by Saturday, I always put in there what I have left. So so watch for that if you were kind of on the fence. But you like the lighthouse, Cindy. Yes. Renice loves all the cards. Cynthia's going to watch the replays. Cindy loves the lighthouse. Yeah. I don't know, you guys. There's something that speaks to me with this one that I just want to be on the beach somewhere watching, the sunset and having a light warm breeze on my back. So yeah. And there, if you guys are just joining in and you got these kits, just make sure you watch about how I did the ribbon so that you make it look like it's one continuous piece, right? Otherwise, there's not a lot of trickery. Don't glue your binding in here incorrectly. So, knocked it out of Wisconsin. Yeah, so cool. Very, very cool. The lighthouse. You guys are loving the lighthouse. Okay, great. So I think that was the general consensus too, was the lighthouse on for class on Monday night. All right, so let's, I can hear the ocean. Yes, Doris, exactly. Oh, Jean Maxwell likes the bear. Yeah, the bear. They're all like so cool. So very, very cool. You guys are giving me the love. I love it. So, okay, so let's set these off to the side. And we're going to pull in here my class sign-up list. And we're going to switch my phone over for the door prize. And I had, let's see here, it looks like 11 people placed orders to get the class for free. So when you place an order to get the class for free and you use the host code, it allows me to, oh, good reminder, you guys. Did you see that I posted the mystery card night? I forgot. I'm going to be live on Monday. I didn't forget. I just didn't think about it all the time. But mystery card night is this coming Monday. You guys think it's going to be an easy peasy lemon squeezy layout. I bet you do. I bet you do. But I have a trick up my sleeve to make it different. Okay? So I'm excited for this one. Kelly is going to be featuring this for Technique Thursday next week too. Plus, this is the layout for an upcoming class. So I try to be strategic about stuff, right? So if you guys missed it, Mystery Card Night is published on my online calendar. So go to cardsbycrispy.com, right? And go to the events schedule. Boom, right? So go to my events, and it's August 15th, Mystery Card Night. Note-wise, it is at 5 p.m. Central. All right, we've got a dinner for with friends on Monday night. And so I told Tyler I would be done by 6 o'clock. Normally it's at 6, but I have to do it at 5 to make Tyler happy. So we all can win. So we'll still do Facebook Live at 5 and be done by 6. And then we got to turn around and we're cooking dinner for our friends. So that's about the most I can do in a night. No, Diane, I'm in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, United States of the America. So I'm not in Canada, but I get asked that question a lot. I might sound like I'm from Canada, maybe. I have that up north accent, maybe a little bit. So, but no, I'm from Wisconsin. But I'm your neighbor. I'm just south of you a little bit. So you guys, Mystery Night is on Monday at 5 p.m. Central. Okay. So I get so sidetracked like a squirrel, you guys. So random number generator. I said we had 11. So I'm going to put 11 in here. And we're going to do here, generate 10. All right, number 10 is Carla Lake. Woohoo, Carla. You are the winner of a door prize. And I think you have a class going out, 2 classes going out tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. So I'll make sure to get your door prize right in with your classes. So how I do my door prizes, when I have extra product, because when I have to plan for classes, I have to get product, right? And sometimes I have extra product at the end of a catalog cycle. And so I will save those and use those as prizes instead of doing buy one, get one events, like a lot of other demonstrators do. I don't usually buy one, sell one, get one, whatever the deal is. I give away my stuff for prizes with my people who take and order products to get classes with me for free. So yay. So congratulations to Carla. All right, let's flip back down. I have here these 3 cards. I don't want to forget these. These were from... this was Let's Just Stamp. Lynn, I don't know what you're curious. You said now you're curious. I'm not sure what you're curious about. This was from class on the 8th. And you guys, I over forecasted by a lot because I had 40 that did Let's Just Stamp with me in July. I have none left. And so I made 36 for this class and I still have 16 left. So just know this one will be available for a while, I'm thinking. And if anybody's interested, I still have kits available. It was the potted geraniums class. And you don't necessarily need to have the geraniums to make the cards, but they would be cool with it. But we have 3 winners. This one goes to Becky Tipton Schlossnagel or Schlossnagel, Schlosnagle. Okay, so I need your address though, Becky. This one goes to Joyce Carter, Carter. Oh, ha ha! Lynn, you're curious about mystery card night. Ha ha! I love it. Yes. So this one goes to Marcia Welton, Welton. You girls, I don't have your addresses, so you're gonna have to help me out by providing me your addresses if you want your cards mailed to you. If I don't have addresses, then I have a hard time mailing out cards. But those are the winners for these cards. And you're so funny, Lynn. It is a mystery because it's not your typical card. We're going to do something special with the designer series paper. Okay. All right. So over here, you guys, I have a bag that I'm rolling over. Okay. Sorry, my hair going everywhere. My sale-a-bration board is full, you guys. I'll take one of these kits for the potted blossoms. Yay, Barbara! It's $20 mailed because I don't think you have any other classes going out to you right now. So I have it. If you could send me an email or text me to remind me, that would be great. I would love that. So my sale-a-bration board, this is number 8, you guys. So for every $50 you order with me, you get your name on the board. So Barbara go, you just got your name on for today. Laura Sullivan, you're on for today. Francis Rodriguez, you got on from yesterday. Kathy Jackson, your order from last night counted. There's one person, you know who you are if you're watching, I know you are. You put your order in after Laura. So Laura took the last 2 squares on the board. And so there was one person who ordered after Laura, and at a moment's notice, I can't remember exactly who it was, but you have 2 squares on the next board, and I'll make sure to get them on there. So I can remember a lot of things, but I can't remember everything all the time, you guys. I really can't. You might think I do, but I don't. So this one, though, there's 25 squares on the board, and we're going to do a random number drawing, and it's going to be in my little baggie like this. So we're going to flip this over, and I'm going to try to capture on here the Facebook again. And there it is. Okay, so hi, Rhonda Ayers. You like the flower card. Woohoo. Okay, so big shout out to Rhonda. Rhonda helped with embossing, you guys. Rhonda helped out with embossing our clouds, and she helped with embossing our little bindings. And this was not an easy task to do. I will tell you, it's not easy lining that up and going over too much on the edge here. Oh, Penny Powell, yes. See, Penny, I knew you were watching. Yes, Penny, you get your name goes on the next board, okay? I got 2 squares for you, okay? All right, and Penny, since I am creating a brand new board, you can pick your numbers 1 through 25. It's really hard to do that with online people because I can't wait for numbers to get back and forth. But Penny, if you text me or message me or let me know, you could have any numbers between 1 and 25, 2 of them, okay? You get first dibs, okay? All right. Da-da-da! Drum roll, you guys. This is for a $25 gift certificate with me for a Stampin' Up! Order. So product, basically. And this looks like the number right here. Okay, what do we got? 16. Okay, let's go to the board and see who 16 is. Kathy Jackson from Iowa, Wisconsin. You are the lucky number 16. You just got that order in yesterday. So, Kathy, I have a $25 gift certificate for you. And how it works is if you're not local to me and you place your order using my host code, I will send you a rebate check in the mail, okay? So basically, like a Menards rebate, like where you get, but it's just a check, right? So I send you my awesome B checks. So Kathy Jackson, congratulations to you. You have a $25 gift certificate off of your next order. So you make it look so easy. I try. So Kathy Jackson, I gotta write that down. So I make sure that we get that logged for you, Kathy Jackson. Okay, so what's gonna happen, you guys, it's August 11th. We still have almost 3 full weeks of sale-a-bration to go. And so for every $50 order you do with me in person or online, I put it on there. So if you do like $150 in orders, you get your name on 3 times, right? So that's good. All right. So congratulations. Oh my gosh, you guys, so many winners here. We had Becky and Joyce and Marcia and Carla and Kathy. Woohoo. All right. So don't forget, you guys, Monday is mystery card night. It's for you to use what you guys have at your house or your apartment or wherever you live. Not to necessarily go out and buy some stuff that's new, right? Send her an email just to make sure she gets it. Oh, Donna, I post it tomorrow morning on the winners post. I always post who wins. And so 11 and 19, Penny, you got it. I just saw that come through. So 11 and 19 are yours, Penny. Perfect. So yeah, every morning after I do a live where there's winners, you guys, I publish it as a congratulations to the winners post, and Kathy will see it there. So, and I know out of everybody that's won so far, a few people have already cashed theirs in. So that's awesome. Did you see the Carol Engelbrick potted? No, I didn't. So Carol Engelbrick, if you're still watching, I see that you wanted potted geraniums, and I know I know 2 others did. I didn't make notes at all, and I know that a lot of people did say I want this or I want that. It's always best to follow up with an email, a text, a call, something to follow up, because you guys, when I'm doing my Facebook lives, I don't always see the comments, right? Because sometimes they go fast through my screen, and so I don't always see that. So that's great. Thank you for sharing that, Cindy. I appreciate that, and that helps me too. But it's always good if you want something from me in terms of a class or an order and you need help, or you want to sign up, just email me, text me, Facebook message me, and private Facebook message is probably the best versus even my website, not my website, my Facebook business page, because I don't see those always pop into my phone. I have to go hunt for them to get them. So yeah, so if you're watching the replay of this too and you're kind of newer to me, if you have any questions, it's always best to reach out to me privately versus commenting. The comments are awesome. I can see it. It gets it registered in the back of my mind. But to make sure the follow through is there, it's always good to stay on top with an email, text, or phone call. And those that are new too, I send emails about all my classes, and I have on my newsletter link, or on my website here, cardsbychrisb.com. You can go there and you can sign up to subscribe to my newsletter, which also gets you subscribed to all my emails, including all my classes, any sales that are going on, anything that's going on in basically the Stampin' Up! World. So that's something that you could subscribe to and get included in that automatically from me. So yay! All right. So yeah, so Donna Simmer, thank you too for also making sure that I know that Carol wants a kit. So that's great. So I might be down a couple kits on the Let's Just Stamp. Whoop, whoop, yay. Mom said eventually they all get gone. So, all right, you guys, I think we'll call it a night. It was a great night stamping with you. I hope you got some tips and tricks and aha moments for learning how to do something new. We will see you on Monday night again for another reminder mystery card night. I think I need to send the email reminder out, but if you guys need anything in the interim, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Yay! All right, lots of sunshine, love, and hugs to you guys. Love you long time. Bye.